everybody, and welcome to our Sister Mediums YouTube channel. I am Julie, and it's October. So we are welcoming a brand new season, a brand new month, and I'm really excited to talk to you about what has been brought forward for you this month as far as what we need to focus on, what we need to kind of dive into, what we need to go back and meditate on emotionally. This is a month, I believe, of restoration and really looking into our emotions and our feelings and trying to raise our vibration from overcoming challenges to where we want to be and really amplifying what we want to bring into our lives. So, having said that, I'm going to get right to it. Um, these are the cards that I've pulled for you today. The first one is overcoming difficulties. And, with this card, I really want you to ask yourself what you've learned recently, okay? Was it a challenge that you had with a family member? Was it a friend? Was there a falling out? Were there difficulties in your career? Were there difficulties with illness in family? Okay, this has been particularly the last few weeks, a month of a lot of loss, not just surrounding myself, my family, and clients, but really just overcoming challenges where we've had to say goodbye to people who are important to us and really ask why. What did we learn from this experience? Okay, so overcoming these difficulties. When I look at self-reflection and when I look at what the card says here, it says the worst is now behind you and you are surmounting any previous challenges. The question is really asking yourself, what did you learn from this? Are you stronger for it? Okay, what parts of yourself did you bring to the surface to help overcome these challenges? Did you have to be the bigger person? Were you the one who had to stand strong and really just remember your roots and who you are and where you came from? Okay, it might even be that you're the person who is constantly taking negativity from others. And this is just a reminder that that is behind you now. Okay, whatever challenges were put on you, maybe it's your workload, maybe you've got so much going on and you've fallen back into those old pre-COVID habits where we said, oh my God, we've got so much on our plates. And then COVID kind of came in and we all realized, you know what, I'm going to take a bit of a step back and not do so much. Okay, this overcoming of difficulties is saying you've already passed that hurdle. You're stronger for it now. Okay. We don't let situations define us. Okay. You're never the victim. Sometimes things happen in our lives and they do shape and they do mold us. But I don't want you thinking that you've failed at something or that something is your fault. There's always a lesson as to why difficulties are placed before us. Okay. And it's always about overcoming that challenge and teaching other people. Perhaps you'll meet someone who's going through the same difficulty that you've just recently gone through, and your advice is going to make a difference for them. Okay, so I want you to remember that, keep that in mind, and remember that, even in the card here, you've got this beautiful woman here. I know it looks like a bird, okay, but it's actually a woman and she's got this long hair. It looks like a big feather, and then the bird. And the bird always represents flight. Okay, so you've taken flight, you've moved on from that situation. Okay, mountains again, always a reminder that the worst is behind you, that you've overcome that challenge, that when you get to the top, that view for you is like, oh wow, I did this. I didn't think I could. Okay, and also just leaning on yourself, leaning on your intuition, trusting yourself. Okay, and that inner guidance, it's huge. Okay, so overcoming your difficulties, this is a great way to start self-reflecting as to where you've been and where you're going. Okay. Next card, very important here, Archangel Jeremiah, and this is life review. Okay, it's taking an inventory of the things that have happened in your life. And again, these cards kind of go hand in hand, but I feel like emotionally, what's happened this month is we've been asked to meditate on our routines. Okay, are we being stuck in a situation? Do we need to make changes? Asking ourselves, what are we the most proud of? Okay, so overcoming those difficulties and now taking review of where we've been and where we want to be. Okay, decluttering, simplifying our lives, and really coming to terms with the understanding that we need to do in life what's best for us, not necessarily what makes other people happy. And I know that that's difficult. And, we hear it all the time in the studio. I can't change this situation because I'd be upsetting someone else, or I can't walk away from that relationship or that person, as negative as it is, because they're part of my family. And, when you're looking at your life reviews and maybe starting to question the things that weigh you down in life, when those factors are at play and they are people or surroundings that you are around constantly, you are allowed to make those changes. Okay, rest assured that you're put here on this planet to do great things. And if there is negativity and there is stress in your way, it is really up to you to stand up to it and say, I'm strong enough to walk away from this, or I'm strong enough to put up that caution tape, that boundary that says, yes, you can be a part of my life, but it doesn't mean that you need to be in it. Okay, you can just be kind of at the edge there, and we can say hello and goodbye, and we can be in the same room together, but I don't need you necessarily with me. Okay. When it comes to tangible items, you might be the kind of person that's held on to everything for generations and generations. This card's just saying, take a good review at things. If something no longer serves you, pass it on to someone else. Okay, and that includes tangible items, boxes of things being stored at home, whether they were passed down from you from another generation or not. Maybe they're things from your childhood. And so if they mean something to you, and if they are sentimental, then absolutely you're keeping those things close to you for a reason. Okay. When we talk about what the card says, it says take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that's unbalanced. Okay. I'm also going to talk about your career here, where you spend probably most of your days and a lot of your time. And again, putting that balance in check. If you are already falling into those habits or those routines where you're spending more time at work than you want to or need to, then you really need to take inventory of that energy and say, okay, this is it, I'm done for the day. You have to know your limits, and you have to know when you are putting in quality work versus the quantity. Okay, so again, just taking a look at that and cutting cords, cutting ties, and really just evaluating that pro-con list of what's great in my life, and what I can release to make room for more beautiful things. Okay. Third card here. This is a really important card because it's something that we talk about a lot in our studio, and it's something we're constantly working on. Okay, it's your inner child. And a lot of people ask, what is this card all about? And yes, it's about nurturing yourself, and it's about taking care of yourself and really telling yourself, I love you. Okay. Oftentimes when we look at the work that we have to do that has to do with our inner child, we're talking about things that have happened in past generations, things that have been carried on and have affected us from childhood. Okay. And again, it's that reminder, your past does not define you. Yes, it helps to shape and mold who you are. But the idea of going in to do inner child work is to really help restore your family lineage, to help learn, to help forgive, to help repair, and to help prepare the next generation. Okay. I'm going to give you an example because a lot of people ask, well, how do I know that I have inner child work, and how do I know what I need to do? So, for example, if you are someone who gets extremely angry very, very quickly and finds that you might take it out on other people, or you might take it out on your children. Chances are you grew up in a home where there was a lot of yelling and arguing, and that there was a lot of anger there. And rather than maybe being the child who spoke about it or said, I don't like that feeling, or I don't like being in a home where I'm being yelled at, and you suppressed that, chances are what's happening is every time you get angry, it's creating a trigger. And every time that trigger comes to the surface, you begin to naturally bring these feelings up. Okay. And so when we say you got to do the work, it means going in and meditating on why you feel this way, bringing up hurtful experiences and past childhood traumas, things that we've brushed under the carpet, experiences that we're not necessarily comfortable talking about, but we know that those are the roots. Like, this is the root to the problem. If you're an angry person, why are you angry? Were you blamed for many things? Were you always being yelled at? Okay. And really just start to write those things down, meditate on why maybe you felt that way. Were you vulnerable? Okay. Were you, again, feeling like you were constantly the victim to somebody else's issues? And, in our experiences, a lot of the times in a generational situation, the person who made you feel that way was probably made to feel that way from someone of their generation or a generation higher than them. Okay. So the inner child here, it's extremely important that we touch base with our feelings, but also that we nurture, honor, and love ourselves, and come to an understanding as to why we have certain triggers and work with them. That ultimate goal is finding that inner peace and being okay with it and letting go of those situations, the people who've hurt you, the people who've betrayed you. Um, I'm always going to go back to this. This could be something from childhood, elementary school, high school, even. Maybe someone bullied you and you never really got over that. And again, a lot of us have been trained to, oh, let's just push it under the carpet. Let's not think about that. Let's focus on the positive. And, sometimes what happens is, as the next generation begins to start growing up and we start seeing the same experiences in our children or people around us, all that's doing is bringing that emotion right back to the surface. And it has you questioning, well, why am I so triggered? And 9 times out of 10, it's because, well, you haven't dealt with it. And maybe no one told you how to deal with it. But that would be the first step, right? Is just acknowledging the feelings, acknowledging the things that have happened, that trauma, that emotion, and going in and meditating on it and writing on it and offering that forgiveness, okay? The forgiveness for what happened and maybe looking at why. Okay, we always say, sometimes the ones who hurt us the most, they're also broken. Um, and this card can really have to do with fear, anger, betrayal, loyalty. But again, it's to help repair you and help prepare for that next generation. Okay, so life review comes right back full circle. Okay, and then the next card that I pulled for you, it's very important. I've actually never pulled this card in all the readings I've done, so it must be an important time to talk about crystals. Okay, crystals, again, natural earth elements. Why wouldn't we want to use what the earth has placed before us to help amplify what we're feeling and help raise our intuition and help bring to the surface the things that we want to manifest? And there are a ton of different crystals to help do this. Okay, I thought that I would talk a little bit today about the ones that we most commonly use, or the ones that are probably the most popular and how they can help you. Um, you know, a lot of people come in here into our studio and they ask us, I need a stone for healing, or I need a stone for peace and calm, and to just promote some relaxation and some tranquility into my life. So I believe that maybe this card was pulled for us to focus a little bit more on the things that we want and rely on the earth's elements to help us get there. Okay. Having said that, I'm going to pull, so this one's amethyst. Okay. I'm going to talk about amethyst first, and I'm just going to whip through them. You can always go and, do a Google search for even more information on crystals, but I'm just going to give you the basis foundation as to what their properties are. So amethyst is a very, powerful healing stone. And it is a stone of spirituality, and it is a stone of intuition. Um, it's connected to the third eye, and to the crown chakra as well for some people, because it brings in that natural light, that natural spirituality. And amethyst is also used a lot of times for children who have bad dreams. Okay. A lot of people place amethyst under their pillow. A lot of people wear amethyst just because it's a natural healing stone. And a lot of people turn to amethyst when they're trying to raise their psychic abilities and intuition. Okay, so that's the first one. Um, I'm actually wearing black obsidian today, which is a stone of protection. It's a very powerful stone, and it is one of the gemstones that I was always told that if it calls to you or speaks to you and you're naturally drawn to it, then it's one that you are in tune with. For some people, obsidian is extremely strong, and they feel and not a negative effect, but they don't feel a gravitational pull that's organic and natural towards it. So that's what I'm wearing, and it just helps to keep negativity at bay. Okay. Next stone here that I want to pull for you is howlite. Probably one of our favorite stones here. It's very marble-like looking. White's got some gray grains in here. And howlite primarily is a peace and calming stone. It is used to help neutralize your feelings and to really bring down that stress and that anxiety and that tension that we feel. Okay. Along with that one, I have blue calcite. This is a very powerful stone when it comes to recovery. Okay. So if you've been, let's say, through a surgery and you need a stone that is extremely soothing and is tranquil, um, especially during periods of high stress. Okay, you're really going to want to hold this stone. You're going to want to keep it close to you. Some people like to keep them by their bedsides, but that's a little rundown on the blue calcite. Okay, citrine is a favorite of everybody's, matches what I'm wearing today. It's very golden mustard looking in color. Citrine is a stone of abundance. It's a stone of wealth. It's a stone of manifestation. Okay, so a lot of business owners like to have citrine in their shops, and sometimes they'll put little stones by their cash registers. And it is a really powerful stone, again, to bring in that abundance and that wealth and that manifestation power. Okay, so citrine. And then the last one, and probably one of the most important ones, and a favorite of many, is rose quartz. And rose quartz, of course, is connected to your heart. Okay, it is the stone of love. It's the stone of self-love, and it's the stone of love for others. And I say self-love because in order for us to share ourselves and our hearts and open up that heart chakra and be able to give it to others, we really need to love ourselves first. And so rose quartz carries immense healing powers to help restore damage and heartbreak and grief, loss. For people feeling very lonely, especially, or for people who are very down on themselves, rose quartz is a great stone to have. And so in our studio, we carry all, if not most of these, in raw form, in tumbled stone form. We carry meditation kits, and then we also carry all of these actually in bracelet form. So that's a little rundown on crystals, but the card really asking you to, focus and pay attention to what it is you want in life and how you can use the natural earth elements to help you. I'm just going to put it out there because I feel like this is a month where there's been a lot of high stress around us and a lot of us combating different situations that are just difficult all around and just in need of more balance in our lives. And so this blue calcite one has become a new favorite of mine, and I love holding it and touching it. And so I'm happy to be able to share its properties with you today. Now, I usually end with a prayer from St. Michael, and it's usually, about what's happening in the month moving forward and what you need to know or what you need to pray on. But I felt like this month I'd rather do a positive affirmation and pull something that you can say to yourself daily as a reminder. And it's the perfect card, not just for me, but hopefully for others. It's obstacles are detours in the right direction. Okay. And I think if I have to break this card down as simply as possible, it's really a reminder that sometimes we have setbacks in life and we get really discouraged and we think to ourselves, like, am I doing the right thing? Is this the path that I should be on? I've been pushed off course for a reason, maybe. And, it's just about divine timing. Okay. It's not to say that your plan isn't going to work. It's not to say that this is not what's meant for you in life, but sometimes it's just not right now. In all of our experiences that we have, when we are pushed aside or something gets in the way of what we're doing, it's usually to help us self-assess, take a step back, look at the situation, and maybe also to prevent us from something bigger deterring us or deferring us from moving forward. Okay, and then when the time is right, we just get right back on course again. So I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for listening to the cards and what they have to say. And I really hope that you can sit back and look at this month as a month of review and a month of self-assessment. Okay, what is important in your life, and to really take a moment to put yourself first. We are leaders and we have a generation of people following the advice of what we're saying and how we're living our lives and what we're doing. So I'm hoping that with this life review and work of the inner child and focusing on crystals, that we can help overcome the challenges we've had and help push us forward to continue to do the great work that we're here to do and help you all fulfill your purpose. Again, thank you for being here. Blessings on blessings to everybody. Daniela will be here next month. I hope you have a fantastic and fulfilling month of October. Bye.